Hello guys, today we're back. I'm so sorry that I haven't, I haven't posted in so long, in like a year, I think. I'm so sorry because I broke my tablet, but I got this working, this old tablet working, and now I restored my account. So guys, I want to say, please say happy birthday in the comments. I am actually 9 now, and I promise I will post more content. I will post more content more, but today, this video, write in the comments what my next video should be, please. And yes, guys, I know right now you can't comment, but when I make it to where you can, I will make it to where you guys can. But please, guys, like and subscribe. Right now, today. Oh, whoa! One sec, guys. I will do something. Sorry, guys, 1 minute. You guys see? You guys good, chat? Chat? You guys good? Guys still alive? Sorry. I that's all like queso. I'm gonna turn that. Guys, I just want to say I actually lost my, I actually accidentally deleted my stuff in, inside SnowRunner. Now I'm gonna, do what? So, guys, I'm gonna put you guys up there. So, put you guys up.
Braxton, it's 6:30, so if you're hungry for dinner, you best come get it. Whatever you choose.
Packing the guys up real quick. You guys good, chat? Oh. Come on, game of Thrones.
I'm just saying, you don't got much time. When it gets too late, you're not gonna be lucky.
I'm filming video.
I'll take it. If you're not hungry, that's fine.
Okay, well, can you make me some ramen?
Sure.
Thanks. Today we're gonna be playing SnowRunner. 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 think this is a new update. I don't know. But we're gonna play it. And I accidentally clicked new game, and then I accidentally made a new game, but I actually got like a lot more money. One sec, guys. Let me make you guys good. I forgot I got this stuck. So I know it doesn't look like much of money, but this is one of the heavy duty trucks in the heavy duty part. So number one, I have to. Thing is super long. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably actually go. Oh, sorry, the mother. Crap. Gang, you guys alright? Number one, I'm gonna recover. Put some actually. I'm gonna actually go to it first. So I'm trying to get much money as I can, so that and do it alright, that's good. Back. Purchase. These were. You guys will understand what I'm doing. Okay, so I think I'm set. Get out. No crap. I'm off sell. This got that much money, so now I'm gonna go to heavy duty. Get out. Now I got a lot of money to buy all of these. Any of these. One of any. I'm gonna buy this. Purchase and deploy. And they go. Look at her. She is gorgeous. Look at her. Can't tell me that's gorgeous. I'm gonna do the lighter. Can't tell me this thing is gorgeous. It ain't gorgeous. Look at this thing. Look at that. That's a big room. What I'm gonna actually do whatever. I'm gonna no. Now I'm gonna actually go back to map. I'm gonna tell me this thing. Can't tell me this thing don't work better. I need to make some changes to this, so number one, I'm gonna have to do. These are the best, I think. Bestest, tallest. Number two. Well, I don't like that color. I like this color. Apply. Ooh, that's cool. Never mind. Now I'm gonna do. No one. I need to change these tires. What? I don't know where I got those. Alright, so I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna, where are they? These are what I'm looking for. Let's sell these.
Ketchup, please. Thank you.
Now guys, look at this. Club. Look at this thing. Look at those wheels. You can't tell me those wheels aren't bare. You can't tell me these wheels are bad. I'll show you what this thing could do. I'll show you. Look at this, boy. Holy. This is the wheel. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look at that airport. Look at that. That port so far down, but ooh. Oh. My old car. I forgot. Now let me tell you, this boy. Ooh, this thing could go. This boy could go through some mud. 1 minute, wait, guys. Let me actually recover this. Look at those tires, dude. Look at you guys see those tires?
Hot.
I love you, Mom. Sorry for that, guys. Look at that boy. Watch, I'm about to turn this into a snow runner video, into a let's try all of the ramen. I'm about to turn it to that, you know, to this, not laughing. Those some good chips you'll have. Can I get some? I bet someone's probably just like, what? You're talking to me? I'm gonna be like, yeah. There's probably someone freaking out right now. Jaren, I know you there. Jaren, how about you subscribe, Jaren? Imagine there was a Jaren in this video. And he said, what? Okay, I'll subscribe. Okay. I probably have someone off-road. 1 sec, guys. Let me go. Oh. Whopper, Junior Toppers. Flavor tastes like perfect toppers. Alright, guys. Oh, gosh. Alright, guys. Number one, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna leave. You saw Johnny. Oh. Get some hot ramen. Alright, guys. YouTube. I said YouTube, big back. I said YouTube. Ooh, I think I found myself. So what you guys are gonna do? You guys. Wait 1 minute. Wait.
Oh, already teaching them to customize and save with Liberty Mutual. Man.
Watch on the
Create products that show up on my shelves of my local Sam's Club is such a cool experience.
If you're ever thinking of going to a fast food restaurant after midnight, don't. Because let me walk you through what happened last time I did that. It's 1 a.m. and I'm starving. The city's asleep, but my stomach isn't. So I decided I needed to find somewhere to eat. The only problem is every food place near me is closed at this time. So there I was, driving around in the dark with my stomach making
1 sec, guys. Clap. Crap, no. No! Soldier, get back up! Never go to a fast food restaurant.
Making these weird whale noises as if it was trying to communicate. If you're ever thinking of going to
You
a fast
got
food restaurant
mine.
after midnight, please don't. Because let me walk you through what happened last time I did that. It's 1 a.m. and I'm starving. The city's asleep, but my stomach isn't. So I decided I needed to find somewhere to eat. The only problem is every food place near me is closed at this time. So there I was, driving around in the dark with my stomach making these weird whale noises as if it was trying to communicate with other hungry stomachs in the area. Originally, my plan was to pull up to this taco place I knew of where none of the workers there spoke English, so I knew the food would always be good. Because their hours are super random, and sometimes they're open super late. But when I got to it, they were closed. But after driving for a little bit, the only thing that was open was the gas station that offers hot dogs that have been rotating in that heater thing since 2004. But anyways, my standards were dropping fast, but not that fast. But then I spotted something. The golden arches glowing in the distance. But better yet, there were a bunch of cars in the parking lot, so I knew they were open. McDonald's wasn't my first choice because their fries get soggy quickly and their ice cream machine has been broken since World War I. But at 1 a.m., the only requirement I had for the place I went to was that they had something I could put in my mouth. Wait, pause. So I pull into the parking lot, but immediately something was off when I got into the drive-thru. Because I get to the screen with the menu, waiting for them to say hello to me and ask what I want to order. But after about 10 seconds of waiting, nothing was said. So doing something I'm usually too scared to do, I tried initiating a conversation for once. I said, "Hello? Is anyone there?" But after another couple seconds, it was still silent. But then, I heard something weird. Music playing in the distance. But after locking in on what the sound was, I realized it was coming from inside the McDonald's. But it wasn't their typical Kids Bop elevator music playlist that they usually play in there or whatever it is. But instead, it almost sounded like a party. Have you ever gone through a breakup so bad you felt like your life was over? Like you're getting blocked on social media, ghosted when you try texting them. It's like your ex is erasing you as if you never existed. Well, I haven't, obviously, because we all know I have never been in a relationship. But let me tell you about someone I know who has. This person had their heart broken by someone they thought they were going to marry. They were completely blocked and had no way to reach out. They were spiraling, unsure of what to do, until they found Psychic Rose on an app called AstroTalk. When they first met her, the psychic didn't know anything about the situation, just the person's date of birth. But suddenly, she asked, "Does your ex happen to have a scar on their hand?" They were shocked. The scar on their hand that you would only know if you were close with them. Before they could even process that, the psychic told them that the ex was thinking about them and that they would get back together within the same month. Fast forward a few days and guess what? The ex actually texted them. So if you're in a similar situation, tired of the situationship drama, or just spiraling over your ex, try AstroTalk. Your first chat is completely free here, so there's nothing to lose. And these psychic people really know their stuff. You can actually ask them anything. Do they miss me? Will they come back? You can even know who your soulmate is, so you can try it out. The link will be in the description. But to make things even more weird, I finally heard a sound come from the intercom at the drive-thru. And everyone knows, the drive-thru speakers usually sound terrible. But this one wasn't just terrible, it was downright suspicious because there was a static noise coming from it. But the problem, it was what I could hear behind the static that made my midnight food run feel like I just stumbled onto something I wasn't supposed to. But because there was noise coming from the intercom now, I figured they were listening to what I was gonna say and just wanted me to say my order. So I cleared my throat, making sure I didn't voice crack when I tried to speak. But as I'm about to tell them my order, I say, "Hi, can I get a..." And then I hear a bzzz sound. This weird static noise cut me off mid-sentence. It wasn't regular static though. It was the kind that sounds like when an alien is trying to communicate with humans through the radio. Like if you focus really closely, it almost sounded like you could hear voices. I knew people must have been inside since there were so many cars out there, but I didn't know what was going on. So I was just like, well, maybe they can't hear me. Let's try yelling. So I went, "Hello? Can I order?" But once again, more static. But this time, I noticed something underneath all that noise. People talking. A lot of people. It sounded like a full-on conversation happening, and I could hear the music in the background. It was faint, but unmistakable. So I'm starting to think they accidentally left their mic on for the intercom while they went to do something else. So I tried again. This time with the polite approach, thinking that maybe they just didn't like my approach last time and thought I was mean. So I go, "Excuse me? Is anyone there?" Once again, Nothing. Just static and more of those weird background noises. Okay, well, let's try one more time then. So now, I did the Karen approach. By the way, sorry to all the Karens out there who are cool. I kind of feel bad for you guys. I really hope my name never becomes a meme like that. If the name Tyler ever becomes the male version of Karen, I'm changing my name to LeBron. But anyways, I went with the Karen approach. So I said, hello? Hello, can anyone hear me? I'm trying to order food. Can I talk to a manager? Still, nothing but static and whatever the heck those background noises were. After running out of ideas of what to do next, then I heard another weird noise, clapping through the speaker. Along with that, I could faintly hear people counting in the background. Uno, dos, tres. Now, me no hablo español, but I'm pretty sure that was Spanish. Shout out to my 3 years of Spanish class I took in high school to learn that phrase. That's about all I learned. Actually, that's not true. I also know Feliz Navidad because of all the songs about it. Yeah, that one means happy birthday. So after hearing all these noises, I realized that I needed to go inside if I wanted to get my order. I didn't know what was going on in there, but there were so many cars that I figured if I wanted to get my food, I could easily do it if I walked inside. This was the last thing I wanted to do because it was freezing cold at 1 a.m., but whatever. So I had two goals. One, figure out what the heck was going on inside there. And two, get my dang Big Mac. I'll pull all the way around the drive-thru and park my car. And that was when I looked inside the building for the first time. And what do I see? At least 15 to 20 people dancing inside the McDonald's. But not only that, they were dressed up in fancy clothes. I sat there for a second questioning whether I was just seeing things because I was so hungry or if this was actually real. But after having a talk with the whale in my stomach, I knew I wasn't hallucinating. Now, I've never been to a McDonald's this late at night, so I didn't know if it was just normal for it to turn into a nightclub after midnight or what the deal was. But I needed to find out. My hunger was still screaming at me, but now my curiosity was screaming even louder. You know what my first thought was of what was going on in there? A restaurant makeover show, where they get one of those really old, rundown restaurants and turn it into the most amazing place to eat ever. You know what I'm talking about? The Gordon Ramsay shows where you just roast the people that work there?
I don't think you can actually cook.
So I don't think that was happening. I walked around the building before going in to see if I could get any more hints of what was going on in there. And when I get to the back of the building, that's when I see another layer of strangeness. Delivery trucks were parked outside. But I know people who worked at McDonald's before, and they always talked about deliveries happening in the morning, not the middle of the night. So I completely forgot about the fact that I was even hungry now. My stomach even stopped growling now because apparently being nosy outweighs the desire for food. So I tried to get a closer look through the front windows to see what was going on in there. Because they're kind of tinted, so unless you're right up next to them, you can't really see inside. And once I put my face up to the glass, I can see more details about what's happening. But right as I'm looking around, someone in there makes eye contact with me. The person that saw me kind of jumped at first when we looked at each other, which I don't blame them for because I may or may not have been standing at the window looking at them like this. But they startled me just as much as I startled them, because it felt like I wasn't supposed to be watching whatever was going on in there. You know when you try to act normal, but it just makes you look super suspicious? That was me after we made eye contact. I tried to look away as quickly as possible and do that casual walk thing where you have your hands in your pocket and you're whistling, just looking around as if you're not guilty. But if anything, that just made me look more suspicious, because they were still looking at me. So I just went back to my car. I sat there for a couple minutes thinking if I should try going inside again or if I should just go back home. But I was too curious and too hungry to leave. So I snuck back up to the window to see what was going on again. But this time, I made sure to be more discreet. And after looking around inside for a while, I started to notice some things. A bunch of balloons hanging from the ceiling. Streamers crisscrossed against the menu board. But the weirdest thing of all, a photo of a random girl stood up on a canvas in the middle of the place. I had to look up and make sure this place was still a McDonald's and it hadn't been turned into a convention center since the last time I was there. I'm not usually a guy that stays up super late, so I wasn't sure if this was just something that always happens at this time. Eventually, I just said I'm gonna go for it and try going inside to see what was happening in there. I tried looking confident this time walking up to the door instead of taking that stalker approach I took the last time. I once saw someone say that if you act like you belong somewhere, no one will bat an eye. Unfortunately, whoever said that is a liar though, because I once went into a Holiday Inn trying to get a free continental breakfast because they slap so much, and I walked inside there with my chest out looking like I owned the place. Then I went into the kitchen and started making myself a waffle, but I got kicked out right away by an employee asking to see my room card. So I went straight up to that door and reached on the handle, expecting it to at least open, but unfortunately, it didn't budge. I tried again, thinking that it might just be stuck, but nothing, which made zero sense considering there were dozens of people inside looking like they were having the time of their life. None of the people in there heard me doing this because of the loud music that was playing, so they didn't come to the door. But after giving it one more big tug trying to open it, I once again smushed my face on the glass, staring through it to see what they were all doing. And that's when something happened. The most awkward moment of the entire month. Maybe even the entire year. A guy standing near the entrance turned around and caught me with my face smushed against the glass as if I was trying to make love to the window. Unfortunately, that's about as close as I have gotten to making love, so I'll take it. But we locked eyes for a couple seconds. Me with my, I promise I'm not trying to impregnate this window right now, look on my face. And him with his, who is this person trying to break in right now, expression on his face. My face turned red with embarrassment. After locking eyes with me, he didn't even say anything. He just looked me dead in the eyes and shook his head slowly as if he was saying, no, you cannot come in. It felt like I was getting turned away from a VIP event. Like, nah, sorry, bro. The Filet-O-Fish party is invite only. Joke's on you. I didn't want to party at McDonald's anyway. I'm going to Wendy's where she knows how to throw a real party. Nah, I didn't say that. But anyways, back to reality. I stood frozen, considering what to say next. Should I mouth something like, open the door through the glass? Hold up my wallet saying that I want to pay for food? Just accept defeat? My stomach growled loudly enough that he probably heard it through the door. And the entire time this was going on, the gathering continued behind him. People laughing and dancing, completely unaware, the hungry guy just standing at the door. Felt like I was watching whatever was going on in there through a TV screen. So I decided, regardless of whatever was happening inside there, they weren't going to let me in. And I accepted defeat. I realized I was just gonna have to go home and settle for eating cinnamon on ice once again. Just as I was walking back to my car, feeling totally defeated, I then hear a voice. Hey! I quickly turn around and see that the man playing defense on that front door like Prime Maldini was talking to me. So I respond with, yes? And he waves toward me, signaling to walk back towards him so we can talk. Then he says to me, were you trying to get food? And I say, yeah, at first I was, but then I was trying to figure out what was going on in there after seeing everything happening. Then he gives me the big reveal. The owner of this restaurant has a daughter, and it was her birthday that day. So they were throwing a birthday party for her in the McDonald's. Then my heart dropped. Oh my gosh. Ronald McDonald has a daughter? No, but for real, I was wondering, who throws a birthday party at 1 a.m. in a McDonald's? Everything suddenly made more sense though, from the fancy clothes to the decorations. Then I asked the guy if there was a chance those fryers were still running. And he goes, nah, I'm sorry, you won't be able to get any McDonald's food tonight, but I can't give you a cookie. So I gladly took one, went back home, and went to bed. I don't know if this is a common thing to happen at fast food restaurants past midnight. If you're a night out and you're aware of this happening, please let me know. But from now on, I'm not testing it anymore.
With USAA Safe Pilot, I can save when I drive safely.
With USAA Safe Pilot Miles, I can say when I...
My Japanese friend gave me a whole box of Japanese sodas, and he said they're way better than American sodas, so let's test out if that's true. First up, we got grape, and I know how to open these now. You just push this in here. Why is it still hard to do? I got it. Let's try it. It's kind of big. I'm not a big grape guy, though, so maybe that was why, but I am a blueberry guy, so let's try this one. Oh my gosh. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. Next up, green apple. No, melon. All right. Are all Japanese people just super strong, or how do they open this? Why does it keep... Ooh, that tastes like a haichu. I like that. Next, strawberry, and I'm guessing this one will be my favorite. Every time! That is really good. And finally, lychee. Please don't explode. I like lychee, but is there a way to open them without exploding? My Japanese friend gave me a whole box of Japanese sodas, and he said they're way better than American sodas, so let's test out if that's true. First up, we got grape, and I know how to open these now. You just push... This is how I would sneeze if I was alone, versus how I would sneeze if I was around my crush. Alone. Achoo! Achoo! Around my crush. Achoo! Achoo! This is how I would sneeze if I was alone, versus how I would sneeze if I was around my crush. Alone. Achoo! Achoo! Around my crush. Achoo! Achoo! This is how I would sneeze if I was alone, versus how I would sneeze if I was...
Over 60% of sales on Amazon.
My old school had a book fair today, so I had to stop by, and look what I got. 15-inch pencil! Can this thing actually even write? Let's see. No way. No way. Does the eraser work too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My old school had a book fair today, so I had to stop by, and look what I got. 15-inch pencil! Can this thing actually even write? Let's see. No way. No way. Does the eraser work too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My old school had a book fair today, so I had to stop by, and look what I got. 15-inch pencil! Can this thing actually right? Let's see. No way. No way. Does the eraser work too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My old school had a book fair today, so I had to stop by, and look what I got. 15-inch pencil. Can this thing actually even write? Let's see. No way. No way. Does the eraser work too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My old school had a book fair today, so I had to stop by. I hate pickles, but you know the one thing I hate even more than pickles? People who interrupt me when I'm talking. Oh my gosh! A pickle who also interrupts me? This is my worst nightmare! I hate pickles, but you know the one thing I hate even more than pickles? People who interrupt me when I'm talking. Oh my gosh! A pickle who also interrupts me? This is my worst nightmare! I hate pickles, but you know the one thing I hate even more than pickles?
Trump, Abbott, Hancock.
During school, we face a lot of challenges, whether that be going into the bathroom and seeing a full concert happening, or being put in a school project with someone that you know isn't going to do any work, or even having to navigate through the couples making out with each other in the hallways. It doesn't matter if you went to school in the hood, if you went to private school, or even Hogwarts. We've all experienced the things I'm about to talk about. Starting off with... During school, we face a lot of challenges, whether that be going into the bathroom and seeing a full concert happening, or being put... Is there anything better than coming home after a long day and just enjoying a nice cup of Coke? There's just nothing that hits the spot like it. But the best part about it is always that first sip. Is there anything better than coming home after a long day and just enjoying a nice cup of Coke? There's just nothing that hits the spot like it. But
When I went to Baja, Cabo Citrus is finally.
I just picked up a bag of chips that I'm pretty sure only has one chip in it because it's super light, and when I shake it, I only hear one. So let's open it to see if I'm right. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? One chip. In this economy. I just picked up a bag of chips that I'm pretty sure only has one chip in it because it's super light.
1 minute, gang. Hey, what's up? Sorry, guys.
And when I shake it, I only hear one. So let's open it to see if I'm right. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? One chip. In this economy. I just picked up a bag of chips that I'm pretty sure only has one chip in it because it's super light, and when I shake it, I only hear one.
Yeah, this party is awesome. Who's having a good time, huh?
I'm just kidding. There is no party. It's fake. There's not even anything in this cup. Would anyone like to invite me to a party, though, please?
Yeah, this party is awesome. Who's having a...
Celebrate one of a...
Did you know that John Cena could be next to you right now without you even knowing because he's invisible? Like, literally, in this moment, he could be right here. Did you know that John Cena could be next to you right now without you even knowing? A fan sent me money inside this puzzle because he saw my other video trying to open a money puzzle, and he said this one is even harder. So apparently there's an arrow on the egg you have to find. Oh, okay, it's right here. See it? Then you have to use that arrow to navigate through the puzzle. Oh, wait, I'm kind of cooking. Hold up. I'm just spinning it and hoping it goes up, whichever way works. Let me get a better look at this. So I think I go this way, and then, nope. How do you do this? Spin it, and then, oh, okay, boom. See, this is the maze you have to get the arrow through. All the way. Yep, okay, boom. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. We gotta be right there. Wait, why does it look like, whatever. Yes, yes. If the person who gave me this is watching this video, I'm not done with you. A fan sent me money inside this puzzle because he's... So I heard girls want a guy that can protect them. Well, lucky for you ladies, I think I may know a guy. Why do we use soap dispensers when we could just put a bar of soap on a stick and do this instead? Did you know that you don't have to peel the skin of a kiwi to eat it because you can just scoop it out like this instead? And now you can enjoy saying bad words to my dog to see how he reacts. All right, you ready? Job. Employment. It was a joke. Hey, it was a joke. Today, I'm showing you my morning routine. First, I wake up, then I go pee and sometimes poop, and then I get out of bed. So I heard girls want a guy that can protect them. Well, lucky for you ladies, I think I may know a guy. Why do we use soap dispensers when we could just put a bar of soap on a stick and do this instead? Teaching my dog to not bite people. After a long talk with my family, I have officially decided to get a job at McDonald's. Go Golden Arches, baby! After a long talk with my family, I have officially decided this is a bottle of Can you make DIY jelly fruit? I was originally gonna go buy more from the store, but then I remembered I don't like going outside, so I'm trying to make it myself. All right, I've got it fully twisted up, so let's do it. This better not make a mess because this is my second favorite gray shirt. Here we go. It works, just don't put as much as I did in it. Can you make DIY jelly fruit? I was originally gonna go buy more from the store, but then I remembered I don't like going outside, so I'm trying to make it myself. All right, I've got it fully twisted up, so let's do it. This better not make a mess because this is my second favorite gray shirt. Here we go. It works, just don't put as much as I did in it. Can you make DIY jelly? Men don't know how to cook. Oh, really? Because my mom isn't home today, so I had to make my own dinner. And look at this masterpiece I created. Bet y'all feel dumb now, huh? Men don't know how to cook. Oh, really?
From Pro.
Does anyone else hate when people bite a Kit Kat without splitting it? Like, is it really that hard to just break it before taking a bite? Does anyone else hate when people bite a Kit Kat without splitting it? Like, is it really that hard to just break it before taking a bite? Did anyone else not know that the Titanic actually sunk in real life? Because it makes no sense. Why would anyone get on that boat after watching what happened in the movie? Did anyone else not know that the Titanic actually sunk in real life? Because it makes no sense. Why would anyone get on that boat after watching what happened in the movie? Did anyone else not know that the Titanic actually sunk in real life? Because it makes no sense. Why would anyone get...
From heart to...
Someone ate all my ice cream without me getting any, so to get revenge, I bought a new tub and put laxatives in it. But I forgot I did that and just ate half of it. I already know what's about to happen next.
Update. I've been stuck on the toilet for 2 hours. Please help.
I just lost my AirPods, but I have a flight in an hour and I need to find them. Where are they? Come on! Are they in here? No. I give up. I'm gonna have to buy a new pair. I just got a letter from my grandma's doctor, and apparently she only has 6 to 7 months left to live. Wait, 6 to 7? Hey, that's kind of lit. 6 to 7. Benson Boone just saved my life because someone just broke into my house to rob me, but luckily I was playing Benson Boone's music, and when they heard it, they left immediately. Thank you, Benson. Oh, you think this is a vape? No, it's just my cat. Duh. Hey, get down. Hey, get down for the... Someone ate all my ice cream without me getting any, so to get revenge, I bought a new tub and put laxatives in it, but I forgot I did that and just ate half of it. I already know what's about to happen next.
Update. I've been stuck.
I just found out Mexican Coke exists, but what can even be the difference between this and regular Coke? Let's see. ¡Ay, caramba! Esta bebida está deliciosa. Y ahora no puedo dejar de hablar español. I just found out Mexican Coke exists, but what can even be the...
Don't settle for less. Get more of what you want with new Power Water from Powerade. More electrolyte.
Today, I'm gonna see if AI is smart enough to take over the whole world. Hey, Pookie, name every single person on Earth.
Hell nah.
Well, okay, well, say you love me.
Ew, hell nah.
Ew, why'd you have to say ew? What? Today, I'm gonna see if AI is smart enough to... My mom just walked into the bathroom and screamed when she saw me taking a bath because I put a bath bomb in the water to help me relax, but what I didn't realize is that it looks a lot like blood, so she thought I was just bleeding out. My mom just walked into the bathroom and screamed when she...
Who are we bringing in?
This ink is supposed to disappear when you use it on something, so I'm gonna test that by putting it on my nicest white shirt. This better work, or else my mom is gonna be real mad. Here we go. Alright, okay, we got it on. Oh, it's all on the floor. You can see it right there. I'll put some more on. Alright, you can see it starting to stain now. When does it When did it start to go away? It's been about a minute now. It's still here. It's been 2 minutes now. Still here. 3 minutes. I'm starting to get nervous. Am I just gaslighting myself, or is it getting a little bit lighter? Okay, wait, I think it's working now. Let me wipe the excess part. Now it just kind of looks like I drooled on it, which I do that anyway. I waited like 15 minutes, and it still has the drool marks, so I think this is the best we're gonna get. Update, it's been 3 hours. The drool marks are still here. I think we're cooked. This ink is supposed to disappear when you use it on something. You believe a lot of dumb things when you're a kid. Like if you swallow a piece of gum, it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. So let's talk about some of the lies we all fell for when we were younger and how I found out that these lies weren't even real. You believe a lot of dumb things when you're a kid. Like if you swallow a piece of gum, it'll stay in your... You believe a lot of dumb things when...
Before I was a...
Ugh, dude, is it just me or does this smell like feet?
Oh, yeah, it does. We should throw it away.
Yeah, we probably should. Wait, who's that at the door? Today, I'm gonna be tickling random people who are wearing blue hats. Okay, today I'm gonna be tickling random people who are wearing white shirts. I hate sharing a hotel room with Nick because I bought another piece of chocolate to eat tonight, but I left for 10 minutes, and when I came back, it looked like this. I really hope it's from him taking a bite out of it and not something else. Nick thinks it's impossible to run with the same arm and same leg, but I think I can do it, so I'm gonna prove him wrong.
Bro, you look ridiculous.
How'd it look? Did I do good?
I feel like I could do better.
Let's see you do it then.
Oh, what is that?
Bro, apparently Taylor Swift just dropped a new album.
I bet it's trash.
Sure it is. Dude, is it just me or I just found out my YouTube account got banned, so because of that, I will officially be working at McDonald's. I'm at your service. Who wants a burger? I just found out my YouTube account got banned. Oh, you think this is a cool cup? Well, look what happens when you try to drink out of it. You either get stabbed in the cheek, or if you turn it this way and drink, you get stabbed in the lip, or if you turn it all the way like this and take a sip, you get boom, stabbed in the eyes. How are you supposed to use this? Oh, you think this is a cool cup? Well, look what happens when you try to drink out of it. You either... This tub of ice cream had a hole when I opened it, so I asked the Walmart employee why it was like this, but he just smiled and went, it gives it extra flavor. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. I'm hiding from my Alexa because it won't stop bullying me. Hey, Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Of course. Just look in the mirror.
See what I mean? If you ever want orange juice but you don't have any, I bought real handcuffs to see how hard it is to actually get out of them, and I'm gonna swallow the key to make sure I can't cheat. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna try is to just... Okay. What about shifting my hand through? I put it on tight, but I have sausage fingers, so this isn't gonna work, is it? Maybe if I pull it from here? Okay, it's starting to hurt on my wrist. Come on! Break you! I think I'm just gonna have to wait till I go number 2 to get these off. I bought real handcuffs to see how hard it is to actually...
The Labrador Retriever.
I just woke up at 11 a.m., but I was still tired, so I went back to bed. But when I woke up again, it was 10:40 a.m., so I was like, wait, did I just time travel backwards? But then I realized I didn't time travel. I just slept another 12 hours. I just woke up at 11 a.m., but I was still tired, so I went back to bed. But when I woke up again... Someone just gave me this whole chocolate bar because they said they watched my videos, but I'm on a diet, so I'm only gonna eat a piece of it. Perfect. I just found a piece of hair in my fries, but the person who was making my food was bald, which means this is either their armpit hair or worse. I don't care if I get canceled for saying this, but I don't really like Taylor Swift's music that much. Like, it's just not that... I'm just kidding. I love Taylor Swift, guys. She is so awesome, and she makes such good music, and I love her and her boyfriend. I just found $200 on the ground, so you know what I'm gonna do now? I want 100 burgers, 100 fries, and 100 milkshakes. My car is getting towed, but my phone's about to die, so I don't even know what I'm supposed to do now. Look. Someone just gave me this whole chocolate bar because they said they watched my videos, but I'm on a diet, so I'm only gonna eat a piece of it. Perfect. I just found a piece of hair in my... I just ordered a Happy Meal from McDonald's, but I forgot my wallet, so I panicked and just told the worker that this was gonna be for a homeless person, and she gave it to me for free. I just found a new life hack. I just ordered a Happy Meal from McDonald's, but I forgot my wallet, so I panicked and just told the worker that this was going to be for a homeless person, and she gave it to me for free. I just found a new life hack. I just ordered a Happy Meal from McDonald's, but I forgot my wallet, so I panicked and just told the worker that this was going to be for a homeless person, and she gave it to me for free. I just found a new life hack. I just ordered a Happy Meal from McDonald's, but I forgot my wallet, so I just bought my first Tesla, so you already know what the first thing I'm gonna do is...
My mom is returning his...
So true.
I just bought my first Tesla, so you already know what the first thing... My mom just bought this ice cream flavor that I don't like, but I do like the toppings on them, so I'm just picking them out separately and eating them by themselves. Look, I already have a whole pile right here. When I was a kid on the bus, I would always make funny faces at the cars behind us, but now that I'm the person in the car, the kids on this bus are making funny faces at me, so I gotta make one back. Someone at the Oreo factory needs to be fired, because tell me why when I opened this package of Oreos, there was no cream inside any of them. Like, if you're gonna forget any part of the Oreo, make it the outside. The cream is the best part. Wait. I'm sleeping under my car tonight because my dog is laying on my bed right now, but he always snores super loud, so I can never fall asleep. But honestly, this isn't even too bad. Wait, is that a spider? Oh no, there's a banana peel on the ground. I really hope I don't slip and fall over it. Did you guys actually think I would fall? This isn't a cartoon. My mom just bought this ice cream flavor that I don't like, but I do like the toppings on them. So I'm just pick. This berry is supposed to take away your ability to taste sour things, so I'm gonna eat it and then try Sour Patch Kids and Sour Skittles to see if that's true. Let's pop it in.
Sour Patches and bread.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my gosh. Okay, it finished dissolving. It literally tasted like doo-doo, but we're gonna try Sour Patch Kids now. I love sour foods, but I'm also a wimp with them, so I really hope this works. Here we go. Wait, it's like someone sucked off all the sour... Okay, that sounds weird. It's basically like if they didn't put any of the sour flakes on it. It's just a straight fruity taste. These are the real test, though, because I can never finish a whole bag of these because they're way too sour. So let's go with the most sour one, green apple, and see. It's just a Skittle. It tastes like a normal red bag of Skittles. That's crazy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go finish this bag for the first time. This berry is supposed to take away your ability to taste sour things, so I'm gonna eat it and then try Sour Patch.
No. Other way. You twisted it the wrong way.
This device is...
No. Other way. You twisted it the wrong way. What do you want me to do? Just look down. All right. Just look at me. Look what I'm doing. Yeah. All right. See the way I'm twisting it? Yeah. All right. Turn it that way from your end. Okay. Okay. No. All right. All right. You know what? All right. Just put it down. Put it down. Just drop it. All right. All right. Let's just hang on and figure this out.
Stormtroopers all over the place. Shouldn't we be getting out of here?
All right. Okay. I got it. I know. Okay. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the cushions off, unscrew the legs, take the mattress out, and this whole thing's gonna be a lot simpler. It's easier than we're making it.
This device is supposed to make it impossible to spill your drink, so I'm gonna see how far I can take this. Here we go. Oh my gosh. How is it still on? What if I go overhead? No way. Look at this. Are you kidding me? What the heck? If you're a waiter in a restaurant, you need to get one of these. This device is supposed to make it impossible to spill your drink, so I'm gonna see how far I can take this. My finger is turning really red for some reason, so I have a feeling I might be developing superpowers, so I'm gonna try running through a wall to test it. Okay, here we go. A little kid just came up to me and said, "Hey Tyler, I know your address," and then he said it out loud. So I replied back to him saying, "Joke's on you, buddy. I know my address too." Like, what do you think, that's impressive or something? My headphones just died while I was at the gym, so my music started playing out loud and everyone could hear it. But I had to leave right away because this was the song that was playing. A random girl and I are walking in the same direction, but I can tell she thinks I'm following her, so I'm gonna pretend to be on a FaceTime call to make her less nervous. Hey girl, what's up? Oh my gosh, your outfit is slaying! Do I want to get a pedicure tomorrow? Of course. I'm getting a haircut today, but the barber I'm going to is rated 5 stars, so hopefully it should turn out really good. Oh my gosh. The only thing this barber should have 5 stars on is GTA, because this is a crap! My finger is turning really red for some reason, so I have a feeling I might be developing superpower. This tear stick is what actors use in movies to fake cry, so I'm gonna see if I can rub it in my eyes without crying. So it just says we apply it under the eyes, right here. Maybe this will get rid of my eye bags too, who knows? Oh my gosh, I can already feel it. Okay, here we go. It says to add a couple layers, that was only one. Okay. Oh, it burns. It's like the baby shampoo all over again. Don't cry. I can't hold it much longer. My vision's starting to get blurry. Oh no. Dang, I really look like I'm crying. I'm gonna use this to start gaslighting people. What do you mean LeBron's not the GOAT? You seriously went to McDonald's and didn't get me anything? This tear stick is what actors use in movies to fake cry, so I'm gonna see if...
Can I go to the bathroom?
You could leave school right now and never come back for all I care.
You may be wondering, why did I just show you my incredible acting skills right there? Well, it was to give you examples of the different types of teachers that every school has, including yours. First type of teacher we gotta talk about is one that still gives me goosebumps to this day. You know them, you love them.
Can I go to the bathroom?
You could leave school right now and never come back for all I care.
You may be wondering, why did I just show you my incredible acting skills right there? Well, it was to give you example
of Diddy. What? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, your mama.
Come on, buddy.
Hey, can I go to the bathroom?
No.
Hey, can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, can I go to the bathroom?
You could leave school right now and never come back for all I care.
You may be wondering, why did I just show you my incredible acting skills right there? Well, it was to give you examples of the different types of teachers that every school has, including yours. First type of teacher we gotta talk about is one that still gives me goosebumps to this day. You know them, you love them. I'm talking about the baddie teacher. Every school had one. The teacher that made attendance mysteriously hit 100% even during flu season. The one where guys who hadn't raised their hand all year were suddenly volunteering to answer questions. The kids who couldn't even tell you what 2 + 2 was suddenly becoming scholars when this teacher walked into the room. And for me, my baddie teacher was Mrs. Rodriguez in English class. And listen, calling this teacher just a baddie doesn't even do it justice for how beautiful she was. And it wasn't just me that thought this, it was all the guys at our school. And because of that, when we were picking our classes, everyone would try to get in Mrs. Rodriguez's class. Not because of what she was teaching. To be honest, I don't even remember a single thing from that class. It was purely because she was 26 years old and looked like she should have been on a magazine cover instead of teaching us about Shakespeare. So of course, when I found out I got into that class, I was so excited. And the actual dynamic in that classroom was insane. Guys would show up 10 minutes early, which never happened for any other class. Like, I knew kids who were late to literally everything. Like, I'm talking, they were probably even late to their own birth. But when it came to this class, suddenly, they discovered the concept of being on time. And whenever the teacher needed help with passing papers out, you know everyone raised their hand. I don't know what everyone's grades in that class were, but they must have been pretty great because I saw the same guys who would sleep through every other period suddenly raising their hands to discuss symbolism in the book To Kill a Mockingbird. Do you even know what that sentence I just said means? Me neither. That's how hard people were trying in this class. But not everyone liked this class. No, because the girls hated it. And I understood why. They had to sit there and watch every single guy in the room be a complete moron trying to impress someone they had zero chance with. My friend Sarah, who was in that class with me, once told us being in this classroom is like going to school with 20 golden retrievers who all just saw the same tennis ball. I didn't understand that at first, but now that I think about it, that was pretty clever. But just imagine how depressing it was when the school year ended and I had to say bye to Mrs. Rodriguez. It felt like getting a divorce. I mean, Mrs. Rodriguez, if you're watching this, I am old enough now, in case you want to go on a date or something. You know, I know you were teaching English, but let's be real. I'm pretty sure we both felt some chemistry between us, right? The worst part about this school year ending was that the next year after this, in my new English class, I went from having Mrs. Rodriguez as my English teacher to the next teacher that every school has, which is the creepy dude. Now, if the baddie teacher was every student's crush, the creep was every student's nightmare. Specifically, if you were a girl. We're gonna call my creepy teacher Mr. Peterson, because if I use his real last name, I'm afraid he might, I don't know, come to my house and kidnap me or something. I mean, he was a creep. But anyways, Mr. Peterson taught history. I don't know why I said he taught English. But looking back, I have no idea how this man kept his job. He was probably in his late 40s, but dressed like he was trying to fit in at a high school party. I'm talking tie-dye t-shirts, jeans that were way too tight, the whole thing. And he called students by nicknames that he made up himself that never caught on. It was almost as if mentally, he was still the age of a high schooler. He had this thing where he'd try to be the cool teacher who related to teenage drama. He'd ask about school parties, who was dating who, everything. And at the time, some people thought it was cool that a teacher was interested in their lives, but there were these moments that even as a dumb teenager, you knew something was off. Like, he'd make comments about what girls were wearing, not directly to them, but he'd be like, which doesn't sound weird, until you realized that this was the tone he said it in. Oh, Sarah, that That's a nice dress. Now, if you don't think I should be put in prison just after doing that interpretation, I don't know what to say. Some girls hated his class because of how creepy he was, but other girls loved it because, well, if you were a girl in his class, passing was way easier. I knew a girl who got a B+ on a terrible essay she wrote about the Revolutionary War, and the reason I know it's terrible is because the paper was supposed to be on the Cold War, but what grade did I get on that assignment? I got a C. Now, I'm not saying my essay was amazing, but I do know that I at least wrote it on the right war. The pattern was obvious to anyone paying attention. He'd do that thing where he's half sitting on students' desks while talking to the class, but only the girls' desks, and he'd make jokes that were just slightly too personal. There was this unspoken understanding among the girls in the school that you didn't want to be alone in Mr. Peterson's class. If he asked you to stay after, you'd bring a friend or make up an excuse why you can't. But here's the crazy part. So every school had a teacher like this, right? A little creepy, but only inside school. Like once you left school, you didn't have to worry about them. Well, Mr. Peterson was different because he would try following students through social media. Was this illegal? I don't think technically, but it was weird. And one of the girls who had him as a teacher decided to accept his follow request just to see if he would do anything weird. And as far as I know, he never DM'd her, but he would always comment on all her photos. Didn't say anything unusual, but the fact that he was commenting at all was weird. And this was about 8 years ago. So you may be wondering, where is he now? Well, he was actually on a YouTube video last week. Yeah, that's right. He was on a Gideon video. No, I'm just kidding. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was on there soon. Now, thankfully, the creep teacher usually just taught high school classes, which didn't make it any better, but at least he wasn't teaching younger kids. Because have you ever noticed how the types of teachers schools have changes as you go to different grades? Elementary school teachers were basically just your second parents. You were still at the age where you're pooping your pants in class like every other day, so they couldn't even really focus on actually teaching. And you were scared of the teachers. Like my elementary school classes always had these colored cards you'd get. Green meant you were doing good, but red meant bad. So if you got a red card, it was basically like getting a red card in football. You were cooked. Then you move on to middle school, where for the first time, you're actually starting to learn stuff beyond just addition and subtraction and how to not poop your pants. And now, instead of just having one teacher, you had 6 or 7 all teaching different subjects. School's getting harder, you're going through puberty, and all the teachers are telling you, you better not mess around. They won't let this slide in high school. Then you get to high school, and they let literally everything slide. Like everything. Because high school teachers either acted like the president who didn't let you do anything, so you hated going to their class. But the other half of high school teachers were just people who had straight up given up on life by this point. They were just trying to make it to retirement. You could do literally whatever you wanted in these classes, which brings me to my next subject, the chill teacher. The chill teacher was usually a coach for one of the school's sports teams who just needed a teaching job to legally coach. They literally had the I'm just here so I don't get fined attitude about their job. Everyone was getting an A in their class no matter what. Show up or don't, they couldn't care less. The only thing they cared about is when that last period bell rang and they got to leave the classroom and head to the football field. I will never forget the one class I had with our football coach because it was amazing. I had a teacher named Coach Matthews who taught physical education theory. And you may be saying, I've never heard of that class before. Yeah, me neither. All of us students were pretty sure they just made it up simply so he had a class to teach. And let me tell you, this man put about as much effort into teaching as this security guard did trying to stop people trespassing. He would do the same thing every day. Put on a documentary about sports and then fall asleep at the desk. I'm not exaggerating about the sleeping thing just to make the story sound better either. He had a full routine. He'd start the video, tell us to take notes on it, then sit down, put his feet up, and within 10 minutes, he was out, completely snoring. We'd have full conversations at normal volume and he would not wake up. His grading system was the most simple thing ever. You either got 100% or 0. That's it. If you showed up, you got the 100. If you were absent or being dumb, you still probably got the 100. I never met anyone in that class who did get a 0, so I don't even know if that ever happened. But it genuinely would have been harder to get a 0 than a 100. You would think at some point the school would step in and be like, hey coach, if you're gonna continue working at the school, we need you to actually teach something, like even just a little bit. But Coach Matthews was so good at coaching the team that as long as they kept winning, the school didn't care one bit about what was going on inside the classrooms. Every day I miss Coach Matthews' class. But if there's one class I really don't miss, it was my 7th grade science class. Because for some reason, there are some teachers out there who wake up in the morning with one thing on their mind, and that is to make sure their students' lives are as miserable as possible. It's like they can't sleep unless they know every student is going home after school crying. My 7th grade science teacher, Mrs. Elliott, taught me that some people just want to see the world burn. And she is the subject of the next type of teacher I'm going to talk about, which is the teacher that's on a power trip. If you don't know what I mean by this, let me give you a visualization of what this looks like. Picture a boxing ring, and inside it is the best fighter in the world. If someone tries to come into that ring, they beat them up, punch them until they have no hope left. Now the teacher that's on a power trip, that's the boxer, and the boxing ring is her classroom. And the opponents that come into the ring are the students. Because stepping into Mrs. Elliott's classroom was like stepping into a torture chamber, but at least when you're in one of those, the torture usually stops after a while. This, on the other hand, was never ending. So real quick, I gotta tell you guys this. A couple weeks ago, I'm mid-workout trying to get jacked, but in the middle of my exercise, I feel pain in my chest. Not an emergency, nothing dramatic, but just enough to where I'm like, okay, that doesn't feel normal. So I finish the workout, go home, and just forget about it, thinking I'll just be good tomorrow. But then tomorrow comes, and my chest hurts even more. I give it a couple days to see if it could get better, but it didn't. If anything, it just kept getting worse. Now usually, this would be the time where I just ignore it and hope it could get better on its own. But this time was different, because now, instead of just letting the problem linger and not doing anything to fix it, I use ZocDoc. Today's video sponsor. ZocDoc is a free website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors, all based on your own preferences. You can search to dermatology with no than 24 to 72 hours. Sometimes even /Tyler Vitelli. The link's in the description. Thanks again to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. Let me explain to you just how horrible this class was. You couldn't use the bathroom during class, ever. Didn't matter if it was an emergency, didn't matter if you were sick, it did not matter if you quite literally pooped on the floor. Because she had this whole thing about how,
In the real world, you can't just leave whenever you want.
which is actually not true at all. I have no idea where she got that from, but whatever. And then when it came to where we sat in class, of course, she assigned seats, but she had a strategy to make sure we sat in the worst spot possible. If she saw you even smile talking to the person sitting next to you, she would immediately move you next to someone you didn't talk to. The whole point of her class was to make sure that you did not enjoy it. Of course, the most terrifying part of being in her class was on test day, because cheating in that class was impossible. If you even dared to turn your head 1 degree in either direction, you better kiss any chance at college away, because she would fail you right there. I remember one time, a kid sneezed during a test, and she accused him of cheating. Yeah, because of a sneeze. He promised he wasn't cheating, but she didn't trust him, so she made him retake the test alone in the hallway. When he tried to explain that he just sneezed, she said,
I've been teaching for 15 years. I know all the tricks that you guys try to pull by now.
Looking back at it though, I low-key respect how dedicated she was to being a villain. Like, she was really a D1 rage baiter. And don't get me wrong, I never want to go inside that class again. But I can tip my cap to anyone who's that committed to something. Now that science class was bad, but at least after the school year ended, I never had to worry about it again. But unfortunately, there are some teachers you are stuck with for life, whether you like it or not. And it's all because you know this teacher outside of school. For me, it was Mrs. Patterson, my friend's mom. She taught some medical class I don't remember the name of, and at first, I thought it was gonna be chill. Like, she was cool outside of school. I went to their house for sleepovers many of times. So surely this would be an advantage for me, right? It was not an advantage. First of all, I think because everyone knew that I was best friends with her son, she went out of her way to not show me any favoritism. Which, okay, I respect, but also, come on, throw me a bone! Like, if I asked a question, she'd be more strict about making me figure it out myself than she was with other students. But the real awkwardness came from the fact that since I was friends with her kid, my mom was friends with her. So if I was misbehaving in class, my mom knew about it. If I was talking to a girl in that class, she'd tell my mom about it. That never happened, let's be real. But if it did happen, my mom would have known. Point was, I felt like I always had to have my guard up here because she was watching everything I did and reporting it back to my mom. The worst part was how this affected me outside of school. Because now, whenever I would try going to Jake's house to hang out, if his mom was there, I tried to hide from her. I didn't know whether she was gonna be cool mom or scary teacher, so I just didn't want to get involved with it at all. It actually started to put a strain on mine and Jake's friendship because I started saying no more and more whenever he would ask me to come over. Not because I was busy, but I just didn't want to go to the house where my teacher lived. Unless it was Mrs. Rodriguez's house. Once again, hit me up. I do have to say though, as much as this class made me super uncomfortable, my friend's mom was a pretty good teacher. I got a solid grade in that class if I remember correctly, but I can't say the same about this next type of teacher, which is the one who just straight up sucks at teaching. Not even trying to say this in a mean way. Like, this type of teacher was usually really nice and trying their best. They just had no idea what they were doing. A lot of the time, it would be an old person who was alive for both World War II and Prime Fortnite. So by this time, their brain just could not function anymore. And the question with these teachers is, why don't they just retire? They're already 105 years old. Go travel the world. Enjoy your life. Get out of the classroom for once. Well, the reason they don't retire is because teaching is what gives them purpose. Teaching is what gets them out of bed in the morning. Without teaching, they don't know what to spend their days doing. They simply love teaching. And teachers also get paid like $4 an hour, so they probably just didn't have enough money to retire. But the other part sounds sweeter, so let's just go with that. Now, I had a teacher like this in school named Mrs. Campbell. She taught algebra, but there was only one problem with being in her class. She had no idea how to do algebra. Literally no clue. Talking about her chocolate chip cookie recipe? Yeah, she could do that. But finding the circumference of a right triangle? No chance. She was a lovely person. Always positive, always encouraging. But when she tried to explain certain concepts, it was like she was speaking a different language. She'd write something on the board, and her hands were shaking, so you couldn't even really read it. But this is what she would do.
So if you multiply 3 times the x variable and then find the square root of it, then you get, who's hungry?
She'd pause, erase what she just wrote, rewrite it slightly differently, then look at the textbook to confirm that she did it right. She never did it right. She'd teach the same concept 5 different ways, and somehow all of them were wrong. I remember spending an entire week on quadratic equations, a concept I didn't even know existed, and by the end of it, I was more confused than when we started. Really think about that. I understood a concept more when I had never heard about it than after she started teaching it to us. But you could never be mad at her because she was so nice. She genuinely cared about whether we were learning. She'd stay after class to help, offer extra credit, and try her best. But unfortunately, her best just kinda sucked. Her class definitely made me dumber, which is pretty impressive for me. But there would be kids who would take advantage of this, because since the teacher was so out of the loop, you could tell her that she made a mistake grading your assignment, and she would just trust you. There were students all the time who would absolutely bomb a test, then go up to her and say she put the scoring wrong, and she would just assume they were telling the truth and change it. Mrs. Campbell, if you're still kicking, which I hope you are, I want you to know we appreciate you, okay? We know you tried your best. It's time to sail into the sunset now. Go to Fiji, go to the Bahamas. Just enjoy yourself, girl. You deserve it. Now, I kind of mentioned that you could manipulate Mrs. Campbell into getting whatever grade you wanted because she didn't know any better, but old people aren't the only type of teachers you can do this to, because there's another type of teacher you just have to feel bad for, and I'm talking about the pushover. The teacher who tried so hard to get respect, but had absolutely none. They didn't run the class, the students did. Kids would be on their phones, talking to each other, going to the bathroom for 30 minutes at a time, and for some reason, the teacher just didn't have the ability to do anything about it. No one feared them at all. I actually cringed being in these classes, because sure, I like messing around and going on my phone during the whole class too, but seeing the teacher try to correct kids and them just not caring kind of made me feel bad for them. I've been in a class like this before where the teacher was pretty much invisible. Anything he said or did was irrelevant because none of the students cared. There was one time where he was doing a presentation about the Industrial Revolution, and this kid was talking, so he went,
"Garrett, please stop talking while I'm teaching."
And Garrett just went,
Yeah, so you know what, boss, shut up. So anyways, yeah.
Funny thing about that is, in this scenario, he pretty much is your boss. Like, that's literally his role. But you want to know what was really tragic about being in that class? The teacher said that after this year, they were going to go retire and celebrate by exploring the world for the next whole year. Well, fast forward to the end of the school year, and we were such a bad class that he said he couldn't go out on a year that horrible. So he came back for one more year to try again. And then, in the middle of that year, COVID happened. So he never got to travel the world. Legend has it, he's still teaching to this day, and no one is paying attention. Here's some teachers I think we've all had before, but I didn't think were as prominent as the other ones. Number 1, the oversharer. This teacher is absolutely goated to have. All you gotta do is get them talking about their weekend or their hobby outside of school, and they will waste the whole period yapping about it. Then before you know, the class is over, and you did absolutely no work. I've had plenty of teachers like this where I just pretended to act interested in whatever was going on in their life, just so we didn't have to do any work. Oh, you just watched the new season of Grey's Anatomy? Tell me all about it, Mrs. Michaels. Matter of fact, tell me about every season. I've had classes before where we literally didn't do the tests we were supposed to do because the teacher couldn't stop talking in time to pass it out. Number 2, the teacher that tries too hard to be cool. Desperately wants to be relatable to all the students. They use outdated slang, try to ask about how our personal lives are going. I remember one time, my teacher was trying her hardest to understand Gen Z slang after we took a super hard test. So she said to us,
Sorry about how difficult that test was, guys. That probably wasn't very lit, was it?
Nobody had the heart to tell her that the hairs on the back of our necks just went up out of cringe. Number 3, the mystery teacher. You genuinely have no idea what they do outside of school. They appear at 7:55 a.m., teach for 6 hours, then vanish. Search them up on social media, no record of them. You don't know if they have a family, friends, anything. You think one of 2 things about them. Either they're in witness protection or they're a robot. I prefer my teachers this way, because like I've said before, thinking about the fact that teachers have their own lives out of school just doesn't feel right to me. But there is one flavor of teacher that is the ultimate gamble. You have no idea whether this will be the best class of your life or the worst. And that is because I'm talking about the substitute teacher. Having a sub was like playing Russian roulette. Wait. No, I'm talking about a substitute teacher, not a Subway sandwich, you big back. Jeez. Calling me a big back when you eat like this is crazy. Really? Do you want to go right now, editor? You know what? Let's go. Let's meet in the parking lot. Come on. Okay guys, sorry for that delay. I had to take care of that situation with my editor. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, having a substitute teacher could either be the best day of your entire school year or it could end in disaster. There was no in between. The good subs were incredible. You'd walk into class and they'd just be chilling at the desk, scrolling on their phone. And when the bell rang, they'd just hand out a worksheet and go, "All right guys, finish this by the end of class or don't. I'm not gonna check." And you would just spend the entire class talking with friends, catching up on homework for other classes. But the one thing that you definitely weren't doing was that dang worksheet. Everyone was happy. But then there were the subs who tried to actually teach. Why would you even do that? And this is where things got dangerous, because since the sub wasn't your normal teacher, no one respects them. They think they can do whatever they want without any punishment. But let me just tell you right now, that is not true. And I know this because I had a sub for English once, and she was trying to teach. But then one person decided to test her limits. He started talking loud and throwing things and got other people involved. And you could see the moment the sub decided she had enough. She pulled out a piece of paper and started writing. Everyone knew what she was writing. The note. That's right. The worst thing you could possibly see when having a sub. The note is what the sub leaves for the regular teacher to read when they get back. And if it was a good note, awesome. But if it was a bad note, you might as well not even bother showing back up at school. So the sub starts writing names on the note, and all of a sudden, everyone wants to become professional scholars. No one's saying a word. I even saw the kid that wouldn't stop yapping 5 seconds ago holding up a quiet sign. I guarantee that's the first time he's ever done that in his life. So the whole class knew we were cooked, because when the teacher starts writing names on the note, you have no idea if yours is on it or not. So you just have to wait till the next day. And when that next day came, where our actual teacher came back, she had fury in her eyes. She read the note out loud, basically saying how much we all sucked, and we're all holding our breaths to find out what was in it. And after she finished reading the notes, she announced we were having a pop quiz due at the end of class. Everyone failed, and we deserved it, but it still sucked. So if you have a substitute, just behave, because getting your name on that note is not worth it. Or honestly, just don't show up at all if you have a sub. They probably wouldn't even notice anyway. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some unfinished business I have to take care of with my editor. Let's go. I made a post asking you guys for your wildest school confessions, because I figured we'd get the classics. I cheated on a quiz. I called my teacher mom on accident. But what I got instead didn't feel like confessions. No, these felt like future court cases. Because based off these things I'm about to read to you, I'm pretty sure that some of your schools were literally just GTA Online servers. But before we even start, I need to make something very clear. These are your guys' stories, okay? Not mine. So if something sounds insane or freaky, don't blame me. But without further ado, let's get into it. We're starting off with one that just made me pause and stare at the wall for a couple minutes after reading it. This confession felt like the opening scene of a Netflix documentary with how cinematic it was. They titled it, "I Accidentally Caused a School Lockdown." Here we go. I hid 6 small Bluetooth speakers in the ceiling tiles of every classroom I had, thinking that it would be funny to play ghost sounds during class. But fast forward to Friday, I'm in the library during my free period, and I opened a mobile shooter game. I totally forgot my phone was still synced to all 6 speakers across the wing, and as soon as the match started, the entire hallway exploded with the sound of gunfire and reloading. If I heard those sounds while in class, I would have jumped out the window. Every man for themselves at that point. Because the speakers were inside the ceiling, it sounded like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I heard a teacher down the hall scream, "Whoa!" and the lockdown alarm started blaring. I cannot imagine the horror of a school lockdown starting and knowing I caused it. Or actually, I guess I can, because I did that too. But anyways, I had to sit there in the library, heart racing, frantically trying to disconnect my Bluetooth while hearing people cry. I eventually ran to my homeroom so I wouldn't look suspicious, and 20 minutes later, I heard the main entrance doors get kicked. I don't know what's about to happen next, but dog, you are cooked. We watched through the door window as police officers in full tactical gear and dogs ran through the hall with weapons out. Not the dogs. It was a 3-hour lockdown. They never found the speakers, and I graduated without anyone ever knowing it was my phone. What do you mean they never found the speakers? So a SWAT team just pulled up to your school with dogs, looked for 3 hours trying to find where those sounds came from, and then they were just like,
"Oh well, we tried. Anyways, who's hungry?"
If one thing went wrong in this scenario, you wouldn't even be here typing this message. You'd be in a documentary. First of all, you hid 6 Bluetooth speakers in ceiling tiles. Why? And I know you said it was because you wanted to play ghost sounds, but you didn't even say whether you actually ended up doing that. Also, how did you even manage to sneak the Bluetooth speakers in tiles without getting caught? I know I said my friends and I used to stick paper airplanes in the ceiling, but that was hard enough to do without getting caught. This is next level. But based off reading this story, I know exactly what type of person you are. And that is a rich person, because you could afford 6 Bluetooth speakers. Either you went on the show Wheel of Fortune and actually won, or your parents are rolling in dough. So congratulations on that. But just imagine being the poor teacher in one of these classes where the speakers are. You randomly hear gunshots and you're freaking out trying to find the source of where it's coming coming from? While all the other students are going crazy. Like I've said before, if I was a student in one of these classes, I'm jumping out the window. And if there's not a window, you're gonna find me in those vents. The one thing I'm not doing is staying in that class. This is how the teacher probably reacted in this scenario.
So as you guys can see, oh my gosh, what is that? Everyone get out of their desks now. Remain calm.
This is how the kid who thinks he's the main character probably reacted.
Don't worry, everyone. I'll save the day.
How the kid who's deaf reacts. How the kid who's secretly a robot reacted. Oh no, what is happening? But whoever sent this confession made one small mistake because you mentioned that you graduated without anyone knowing that it was your phone. But guess what? I know it was your phone. And I've contacted your school and local law enforcement, and there will be people coming to your house very shortly to arrest you. Nah, I'm just kidding. But the one question I do have is, are those speakers still in the walls today? Because I low-key need some new ones, you know what I'm saying? Now yes, that was only the first confession. And after that one, you would think the next confessions would be lighter. Wrong. Because here's the next one. I convinced my best friend to throw a chair at my old English teacher. And one time, I made laxative cookies and passed them out to my class. Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but by the way you typed this, it really sounded like you were bragging about doing it. Almost as if you were proud of this. And if that's the case, you're a villain! You convinced your best friend to throw a chair at your old English teacher? Which means you didn't even throw the chair yourself? Your role was somehow even worse. How did you even convince your friend to do this? What, do you have superpowers or something? Are you just like that one girl in the show Gen V where you can put your hand on someone and whatever you tell them to do, they'll listen? I need to know how this story ended. Was the teacher okay? Because I've had a chair thrown at me before. Don't ask. But let me tell you, I barely survived it. So if I was an old man and I got hit by one, it would probably look like this. But it didn't end there. No, because then you casually added,
Oh yeah, also one time I made laxative cookies and passed them out to my class.
the one thing I keep trying to figure out when reading these stories is, what do you gain from this? Even if you were like,
Oh, there's this one kid in my class I really don't like.
why would you do this to the whole class? I feel like, if anything, the person who is negatively affected by this the most is you. Because the class probably just sounded like this for a week straight. Oh my god. I've tried laxatives before, and we all know what happened when I did that.
There's an explosion going off in my stomach. Mile 3, I'm sprinting home because I can't hold it in much longer. Do not try this.
Alright, this next confession is super refreshing compared to the previous one because I don't feel like you should be on the FBI watch list after reading it. I was sitting in my reading class. We were reading Charlotte's Web and I had to go to the bathroom so bad, but the teacher never saw me raise my hand, so I accidentally peed and left a puddle on the floor. I only told one person when it happened, LOL. To be honest, we have all done this, and I don't want to see no comments saying, nah, Tyler, that's just you. Stop the cap, okay? We have all done this. There's two types of people in this world. The first is those who have peed their pants in school because the teacher wouldn't let them go to the bathroom, and then there's liars. I remember the first time I peed my pants in school. I say first time like it happened a lot. It didn't, okay? I promise you guys. Only like 8 times. But anyways, the first time I did it, I really had to go pee. But my teacher kept insisting that since we just got back from lunch, I shouldn't have needed to go. So I was just like, alright, I'll prove to you that I have to go. And I wet my pants on purpose. Now I do regret doing this because my mom had to come bring me a new pair of pants and the whole class laughed at me. But still, this was about proving a point to my teacher. The only thing I'm a little confused about is that you said you left a puddle on the ground. So did it like leak all the way down your leg onto the ground? You know, I don't even want to know actually. Next confession is something that I didn't even know they do in schools. But after doing some research, I feel bad for y'all. Because apparently, if you didn't know, in some schools, they have something called a phone ban, which means you literally can't have a phone in school at all. Let me just tell you right now, I would not have graduated if this was the case at my school. Because here's their confession. So before the phone ban was taking place on our school, the kids would be on their phones everywhere. And I mean it. In the classroom, the bathroom, and in the lunchroom and hallways. Anywhere you could think of, even the janitor's closet. Why do the janitors always have to deal with the most unnecessary drama every day? And so, one time in class, everyone was on their phones, and the teacher didn't care because she only taught to the kids who wanted to learn. And while everybody thought they were slick, suddenly the dean walked in, and he saw everyone's phone. And the second he saw, he confiscated every single phone. Even searched through some kids' backpacks who tried to hide it. And he walked away holding like 20 phones. In that period, I went to the bathroom, and when I walked by the dean's office, holy, I saw his desk filled with phones. Like probably 40K worth of phones just sitting there. And by the end of the day, when all of the kids went to go get their phones back, the entire floor was packed with kids waiting to get their phones back. They all waited there for like an extra 30 minutes. To be honest, if I was the principal at your school and I confiscated all those phones, they would have been on eBay 30 minutes later. I'm just saying. Cause 40K in phones? That's the teacher's salary for the whole year. So if there's a chance to get the bag, I'm going. Your principal's desk just turned into an Apple store. I also love how the teacher didn't even care about kids being on their phones at all. It's like whenever my dog tries to jump on my bed. You can only tell him to get down so many times before you just accept it and let let them do whatever they want. Now for the next confession, we got someone saying, my English teacher was caught doing the boombayah with the history teacher in the school bathroom, and they were fired. Rumors say they got married on Christmas Day. Wait, why would you get fired for doing the boombayah in school? Okay, wait, never mind. I now understand why they got fired. I just looked up what boombayah means, and now it makes sense. Because I thought boombayah was a type of dance, like the Macarena or something. I didn't think it was freaky. Wait, now that I actually know what boombayah means, let me read